Well, the good news is we just broke into an existing cave, which will cut down on the amount of digging we need to do. The bad news is there are creepers here.
This is longtime gamer Venry Fairden introducing Uncle Troy's Minecraft videos.
Alrighty, had to run back to the house and sleep real quick to reset it today for one of the other players. Let's go down here and double check our rail situation. We have 2 3/4 stacks of rail. A few odd things. I've got some more gold smelting upstairs, along with some more iron, so we can make plenty more. And I have still not decided how I want to make this new tunnel here. But what I think I shall do is I shall dogleg it down here instead of continuing on this way. Yeah, just to remind y'all of what I started recording like 2 hours ago. I'm sure I'll edit it down to like 5 minutes, and then they'll be like, well, why is he saying 2 hours ago? I was just here. I don't want this pathway to come right by this spawner, because if I make a spawner trap with this spawner and this spawner, I don't want the rail coming right through the middle, so I said I'll move the rail over about 20 spaces, and I think that's what I will do. And at some point I really need to close all this in. Yes, Mr. Zombie, I hear you. Oh, I was about to say, what's this over here? But that's the spider spawner that we found earlier. That is just like literally right around the corner from the skeleton spawner. But it's too far away to make it a combined trap of some kind. And for some reason, we did not get all this mossy cobble here. So I suppose it would not hurt to pick it up now. I can extend my mossy cobble ceiling. Alright, what I think I'd like to do is, I'd like to make, like to go over about 24 spaces that way. Actually, I might do it right here and have my rail station end right here. Or right through here, maybe. I don't know, I didn't bring a lot of cobble and raw materials. But if I go right here, die. Okay, so let's say we want to end our railway somewhere around here, so we can just come here and just go into the door. Right, just end the railway here. Let's run it, say, straight this way over about 20. I don't know. Tell you what, let's dig for as long as it takes me to tell a story, and then we'll see how we want to go from there. And I'll probably come back and replace all this with smooth stone. Oops, there went pick number 1. I'll probably come back and replace all this with smooth stone or something later. I'm just putting in cobble because cobble is plentiful and I have plenty on me. And I just said the same thing 2 times in different ways. And of course, no more than I start digging that I find something to distract me, like some coal in this case. And missed a couple pieces. Hello, we're all lit up down here. Good. So I suppose it would not hurt to go ahead and block off some of this with actual finished stone. And it occurs to me I might not want to dig out the entire tunnel just yet, just in case I change my mind about exactly where I want to put it. But I will go ahead and get all the coal as I go. So, what was I telling a story about? Oh, yeah. So, the other day, I got reminded that I used to raise chickens. or my family used to raise chickens on the farm. And it was my job to feed and water the chickens every day. And I was fairly young. I forget exactly how old I was, but I knew that when I got home from school, if I really ran and hurried, school let out at about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and then the bus would take us home. And I lived fairly close to school, only about 3 miles away. So when I had to walk up, uphill both ways to school every day, it was only 3 miles, so it wasn't a big deal. But I get out of school about 3 o'clock, and the bus would come by my house about 3:15 to drop me off. If I really hurried, I could run all the way down the driveway. And there's the phone again. Stand by. Okay, where were we? We were digging us a tunnel. I missed some more coal. Digging us a tunnel over, a new tunnel from the skeleton spawner over to my main base. And constantly getting distracted by phone calls and coal and nephews, both here physically and online electronically. Okay, we can put us, I've been trying to fill in the parts that are going to be filled in permanently in the nicer smooth stone, which I'm about to run out of, I think. And it occurs to me at some point that I really should have paid attention to the coordinates, so I knew exactly how far I needed to dig this tunnel. Oh great, another cave. Okay, it looks like we've explored much of this already, so we need not go on a major expedition here. Maybe if we're lucky, this will just go right up here and stop. Haha. I really don't like that lighting glitch. They need to fix that. Alright, I think I just saw a... Yes, I saw skeleton. Die, skeleton, die. You are dead, sir. Anyway, as I was saying, it was my job to feed and water the chickens after school. And if I really, really hurried, I could get finished with school, ride the bus home. Then I could run down the driveway, get to the house, and put on my chicken clothes, which were some dirty clothes, older clothes that that didn't mind if you got chicken feathers or other stuff on them. Okay, good. This doesn't really go anywhere. Good, 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 good. Although there is a zombie somewhere nearby. And then I could get the chickens fed and watered. And then if I ran really fast, I could get back to the house and back into my play clothes, which were just some older clothes that damaged from play to, wear to school or church or whatever. But I could wear my play clothes, and then I could watch my TV program for a half hour before I did my homework. So every day it was, finish school, ride the bus home, run, change clothes, run, feed the chickens, run, change clothes, run, watch television. And it was my mother's job, as I remember, to gather the eggs that the chickens might lay, because she could do that in the morning while I was at school. Well, the good news is we just broke into an existing cave, which will cut down on the amount of digging we need to do. The bad news is there are creepers here. And there was another one of those glitched out creepers that disappears while I'm stabbing him. And of course, no idea where he disappeared to, or... Hello, there's darkness above us, isn't there? Probably need to light this up real quick. Oops. Skeleton. Every time I think I've about finished lighting up this cave, I find something else to light up. Let's see, I was going this way. And let's see, zombie. Did I just get a critical hit with a shovel on a zombie? Oh. Die, die, die. Ooh, that zombie dropped an iron bar. And we've got dead end. Okay. Now, of course, from the sounds, we've got, other cave areas around that are still open. But does anybody remember where we came from? Was it over this way somewhere? Yes, here was our thing we were digging. I'm wondering, should I continue for a while, or should I perhaps actually, make some checks and see where it is we're supposed to be going? Ah, ravine. Yep, a ravine. Ooh, can you see that skeleton way over there? He got out of sight. Never mind. Alright. Never mind. Okay. If we're lucky, we don't have to go that far. Alright, so here's where we want the rail line to end, basically. So we can just get out, step over here, go into the skeleton spawner trap. And I need to redo the redstone under there to make that stay open longer, because I still get hung on this hinge sometimes. Alright, so this is about where we want to end up here. So let's hit the old F3. And when you hit F3, of course, you get the weird stuff down in the bottom corners, the graph and whatnot. But if you hit Shift F3, you do not. You just get the information up on top. And I thought everybody knew that, but somebody had asked me the other day, so I thought I should mention it. Alright, so our Z is about 81. So we want to go, yeah. So we're going to go this way. Turn that off and sprint. As you can see, it takes a while. Okay, so the Z was 81 where we left, and here it is 63, which means I got something wrong here, because Z can't be 81 over there, because Z was negative 81 maybe. I'll have to go back and watch that video again. Alright, tell you what we're going to do. We're going to say screw that. But I think I would like the railway to be somewhere about here, the rail car. So we're going to dig this way and see what else we run into. My brain just went poof there. Okay, so we were talking about the chicken stuff, and it was my job to feed the chickens, my mother's job to gather the eggs. And I was only 6 or 8 or 10 at the time. I didn't really understand a lot of things about life. Just, I did my chores. That was it. But my grandmother did something that I never quite understood, and that night we'd have chicken and dumplings for supper. But I was completely ignorant on the whole circle of life thing. So one day I went down to feed the chickens and found that my mother had not removed the eggs that morning, because the hens were still sitting on them. And the hens were usually sitting anyway, because we had these glass eggs we'd put under the chickens so they would think that they were real eggs and that their eggs hadn't hatched, and they would keep laying more eggs. That was my understanding. So as I was feeding and watering the chickens, I noticed they were still sitting on some eggs. So that night at supper, which is what we called our third meal of the day, growing up in the country, we had breakfast, dinner, and supper. I know other people that grow up in big cities or in other countries might have breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but we had breakfast, dinner, and supper. So we were having what we called breakfast for supper, in which we would have scrambled eggs and bacon and biscuits and gravy and anything else we wanted for the supper time meal. And when you live out in the country, you can do that. There are no rules. You can do whatever you want. So while we were eating, I mentioned to my mother that I had noticed she had not picked up the eggs that the chickens had been laying. and that I need to pick those up the next day or whatever. And she says, no, we're going to hatch out some new chicks. And I'm like, what do you mean hatch out some new chicks? Because, as I said, I was completely and utterly ignorant of the circle of life. And she explained that chickens lay eggs, and if we do not, pick up the eggs and put them in the refrigerator, they grow into baby chicks. And that was when I realized that eating my eggs, and of course I had a big mouthful of eggs at the time, that in eating my scrambled eggs, I was eating unborn baby chicks. And I had a big existential crisis or whatever, and suddenly realized that I'd been, eating baby chicks all my life. And of course that got me really, really, really upset. And I think I cried for like 3 days, and I wouldn't eat eggs for like a week. But eventually I got over it. Alright, I can hear zombies. I wonder what's our Z now. I wonder if I go like another 20 spaces. I'm going to have to go all the way back over there and double check those coordinates, aren't I? So anyway, that's the story of how the farm boy did not realize he was eating animals all his life.